The Naval Facilities Engineering Command was originally established as the Bureau of Navy Yards and Docks in August 1842. Its officers comprised the Navy Civil Engineer Corps, which came into being in March 1867. As a result of the 1966 reorganization of the Department of the Navy, the Bureau of Yards and Docks became Naval Facilities Engineering Command, NAVFAC. The difficulties faced during the War of 1812 resulted in the establishment of the Board of Navy Commissioners in 1815 to advise the Secretary on technical and naval problems. The board functioned for 27 years until it was replaced. In 1842, Congress created the Bureau system, which brought into being the 5 original bureaus, the first of which was the Bureau of Navy, Yards, and Docks. Captain Lewis Warrington, who served as the head of the Board of Navy Commissioners, was assigned as its first chief. The duties assigned to the Bureau of Navy, Yards, and Docks, its name was changed to the Bureau of Yards and Docks, or BUDOCS, in Navy Department Reorganization 1862, were set forth in Navy Department Regulation dated 26 November 1842. The other 4 bureaus established at this time were Construction, Equipment and Repairs, Provisions and Clothing, Ordnance and Hydrography, and Medicine and Surgery. The duties of each bureau are implicit in their titles. On 2 March 1867, Congress passed an act that provided that the Navy's civil engineers should be commissioned by the President by and with the consent of the Senate. This legislation signaled the birth of the Navy Civil Engineer Corps.
Beginning in April 1907, the Bureau prepared plans and supervised the construction of the Bureau of Medicine and Surgery. The following year, the Secretary approved similar arrangements for the Marine Corps construction. And on 4th March 1911, Congress enacted a law that placed all Navy public works under the Bureau of Yards and Docks. Prior to that time, projects other than those at Navy yards and certain designated stations were designed and constructed by the Bureau having cognizance of the facility. The report of the House Naval Affairs Committee dated 28 January 1911 contained the following statement. In order to facilitate a better coordination of the work in the matter of public works, the committee has consolidated under the Bureau of Yards and Docks all the public works of the entire naval establishment. The Bureau is controlled by the Corps of Engineers in the Navy, which is the corps of officers trained in construction work at Navy yards and stations. Thus, the enormous growth that marked the naval shore establishment throughout the 20th century, as well as most of the earlier development, has been the work of the Civil Engineer Corps.
The experiences gained by the Bureau of Yards and Docks throughout its history to this time laid the foundation for its extraordinary expansion of work in World War I and again in World War II. During World War I, $347 million was spent for public works under the direction of the Bureau. This sum exceeded the total amount spent on all Navy yards and naval stations. This remarkable accomplishment was repeated during World War II when an incredible $9 billion worth of facilities was constructed. Many of post-World War I problems confronting the Bureau in 1919 and 1920 were to be repeated following World War II. Salvage and dispositions of surplus materials, berthing of deactivated ships, deactivation of stations, and establishment of hospitals for veterans. By 1921, a total of 376 ships had been decommissioned and laid up at prepared berths at Navy yards in Philadelphia and San Diego. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, a supplementary construction program was established which rapidly moved from the continental United States and its pre-war possessions to many far corners of the globe, in Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, and South America, as well as many islands of the Caribbean, North Atlantic, and across the Pacific. This great expansion not only required additional Civil Engineer Corps officers and civilian personnel, but also presented special problems of a logistics nature. 10,000 Civil Engineer Corps Reserve officers filled the role of the construction supervisors. However, the Navy did not have any construction workers, as they could no longer send civilian contractors into a war zone. In early 1942, on the initiative of Admiral Ben Morrell, chief of the Bureau, the famed Seabees were born, the Naval Construction Battalions. After receiving training in military matters, these military constructionmen were deployed to overseas bases where the threat of enemy action made it injudicious to send civilian contractors. During World War II, approximately 325,000 Seabees built and sometimes fought to defend the Navy's overseas bases. On December 28, 1941, Admiral Ben Morrell, chief of the Bureau of Yards and Docks and the father of the Seabees, requested specific authority to activate, organize, and man a unique, specialized military organization that would support the Navy and Marine Corps in remote locations and defend themselves if attacked, the Naval Construction Battalions. On January 5, 1942, he was given that authority and the 1st Battalions were formed in Davisville, Rhode Island. The first naval construction unit to deploy from the United States left Davisville 2 weeks later, its 296 men bound for Bora Bora as the 1st Construction Detachment. On March 5th, all Construction Battalion personnel were officially named Seabees, a homophone formed from the letters C and B by the Department of the Navy, and thus our reason for annually celebrating the birth of the Seabees on this date. Admiral Morrell personally furnished the force with our motto Construimus Bituimus, or We Build, We Fight. The original Fighting Bee logo was created for use on equipment similar to how air squadrons mark their aircraft, and was designed by a civilian in Davisville who would later enlist in the construction force. On August 11, 1942, the Naval Construction Training Center, named Camp Endicott, was commissioned at Davisville. The camp would train over 100,000 Seabees. By the war's end, over 250,000 officers and enlisted had served in the Naval Construction Force on 6 continents, constructing 300 advanced bases on as many islands. Among the construction projects were 110 airstrips, 440 piers, countless bridges and roads, petroleum storage tanks, hospitals, and barracks supporting 1.5 million troops.
After World War II, CB units stayed behind and rebuilt major infrastructure in the Pacific, while back home in San Diego, the increased operations and responsibilities put on the public works necessitated that activities located in the Naval Supply Depot obtain additional space. City-owned reclaimed tideland was obtained on a long-term lease at no cost to the government at a location in close proximity to district headquarters with support utilities closely accessible. Facilities were constructed and the District Public Works Office moved to 1220 Pacific Highway on April 14, 1945. By Secretary of the Navy directive, the District Public Works Officer, 11th Naval District, was designated as Southwest Division, Bureau of Yards and Docks, effective June 1, 1961. The command continued to function under the title until May 1, 1966, when it was renamed Southwest Division, Naval Facilities Engineering Command. After a number of reorganizations throughout the following decades, on August 2, 2005, Naval Facilities Engineering Command's Southwest Division was transformed again when it merged with Navy Public Works Center, San Diego, into Naval Facilities Engineering Command Southwest. In 2020, NAVFAC Southwest was renamed to Naval Facilities Engineering Systems Command, and NAVFAC Southwest moved to 750 Pacific Highway, consolidating facilities with Navy Region Southwest. The Seabees remain an integrated part of the NAVFAC Southwest team as self-helps execute construction around the region. But the Seabees remain dedicated to their We Build, We Fight motto as they have participated in fierce fighting in Korea, Vietnam, Kuwait, Afghanistan, and Iraq, as well as humanitarian missions across every corner of the globe. The United States Seabees are recognized as the world's finest military construction force, able to build, fight, provide humanitarian assistance, and disaster recovery to those in need, anywhere and anytime. Together, dedicated civilians, Civil Engineer Corps officers, and the Seabees have woven the rich and proud history of naval construction.
As we celebrate our birthday today, I'm especially pleased to be able to present to you our guest speaker, a warrior, a leader with more than 30 years of dedicated service to our country. She has served with, supported, and been supported by Seabees throughout her career, from Guam to Afghanistan, including her service as the officer in charge of the counter-radio-controlled improvised explosive device electronic warfare program, supporting Task Force Paladin in Operations Enduring Freedom in the Counter-IED Task Force. She has been a regional commander 4 times over, and she knows NAVFAC, the Civil Engineer Corps, and the Seabee business extremely well. It is my privilege to serve with her as a regional engineer and to have her speak on this special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to introduce to you the Commander, Navy Region Southwest, Rear Admiral Bolivar.
Hooyah and happy 79th birthday, Seabees. Thank you, Capt. Oestereicher, for your introduction, your leadership, and your many years of service. Welcome, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor for me to join you virtually, though I would much prefer to be with you in person, celebrating the 79th birthday of America's Seabees. Later this year, We will also be celebrating Naval Facilities Engineering Command's 179th anniversary. Truly a special milestone year. Seabees, as the nation's premier engineering and combat force, you can be proud to be part of this great heritage. You have brought innovative solutions to the challenges faced by our joint forces and our nation. Our U.S. Navy Seabees, created in 1942 by the 21st Chief of Civil Engineers, Admiral Muriel, have gained the can-do reputation for their ability to build and fight. Seabees have cleared jungles, rebuilt runways, built airstrips, constructed forward operating bases, and risked their lives in supporting the defense of our nation. Marvin Shields and many other Seabees have paid the ultimate price in the belief of our united great nation. For overseas and here at home, I have seen and appreciated the hard work of the Seabees throughout several regions. In the Northwest, in the Southeast, in fact, the entire East Coast, and now here in the Southwest, with hundreds of projects and service calls to provide and improve facilities throughout the region. Just to highlight a few, the Public Works Department at Naval Base Point Loma, our Seabees assisted in the removal and recycling of over 50,000 pounds of office materials in support of NAVFAC Southwest move to New Building 1. Our Seabees at Public Works Department Coronado and San Clemente Island completed 23 assigned work orders since March of 2020, which provided tenant commands much needed facilities maintenance and improvements through their impressive construction skills. These Seabees saved the Navy over $40,000 in labor costs. Our Public Works Department San Diego Seabees executed the Building 3292 Zolmaltz Training Facilities Electrical Renovation Project. This project, valued at $12,000 in labor and materials, provided 7 new branch circuits, creating 32 brand new state-of-the-art training simulation programs for officers and enlisted sailors. And also worth noting, during the COVID-19 pandemic, our very own NAVFAC Southwest Seabees assisted with the emergency service shops for months, ensuring continuity of critical response services. Today, we celebrate the 79th birthday of our Seabees. For 79 years, our Seabees have fought and won, whenever and wherever our nation calls, always ready to protect and defend America and its allies. While battlefields will change and capabilities will evolve, history has proven our Seabees achieve victory by their unwavering commitment to excellence. It is up to all of us to continue this proud legacy, to carry on the tradition of being ready to fight and win. I'm proud to serve alongside each and every one of you. I ask that wherever you're celebrating today, raise your glass and join us in a toast to the great nation we defend, a nation founded on hope and freedom for all, to those fine warriors who no longer wear the uniform, to the greatest generation who started it all, to all of those who have gone before us, and finally to the families who always stand behind us, who continue to sacrifice every day. Happy birthday, Seabees. Hoo-yah, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Right, today is the 79th anniversary of the creation of the Seabees, and Tuesday was the 154th birthday of the Civil Engineer Corps. Later this year will be the 179th anniversary of NAVFAC. I wish you all a happy birthday, and I want you to know that I am honored to serve alongside with you as we continue to build on the legacy of these organizations. Happy birthday. Throughout our history, we've excelled in the face of many challenges: wars, natural disasters, and humanitarian crisis. And today, we continue to provide essential services to the warfighter in this era of great power competition and amidst a global pandemic. I am proud of what you, our team, and this command has done. All right, as we celebrate today, I'd like to point out a few highlights of the Naval Facilities Engineering Systems Command, Southwest, that is provided to support our warfighter, and the Navy and Marine Corps missions in our area of responsibility. We have recently completed one of our largest workloads ever with $1.6 billion of work in place. We are on plan to award $2.4 billion worth of earthquake recovery efforts at China Lake and $340 million worth of O&M projects, again, at China Lake in support of the earthquakes. In support of the LCS platform, we're executing 5 MILCONs for $205 million at Naval Base San Diego. In support of the Marine Corps, we're supporting their infrastructure reset with $180 million in demolition. For the Naval Special Warfare Center, we're executing over $1 billion program in support of the new coastal campus at Coronado. In support of the Air Force at Travis, we're executing projects in support of the KC-46, 10 MILCONs for over $165 million. And for the new Joint Strike Fighter in support of the Marines and the Navy, we're in the process of executing 23 MILCONs for $1.2 billion. The performance in this area is outstanding. The impact we're making to our nation is beyond compare. With respect to public works, we are on every single day at our Navy installations providing power, water, sewage treatment, transportation, facilities maintenance, and base operating support contracts. In support of the Marine Corps, we're also executing base operating support contracts. Our efforts are directly supporting force generation and operations at those installations. Next, I'd like to highlight a few of the significant accomplishments of our Seabees assigned to our public works departments. It's been a busy year for them, and I'd like to highlight a few of the things that Naval Base Point Loma did, including repairing asphalt, addressing a tripping hazard, removing tree roots, and then placing concrete. They also repaired a bathroom that was damaged by water intrusion, replacing the flooring, ceiling fan, door frame, and then repainting the whole area. They cut up and removed trees that fell on a damaged security fence, enabling security to go back and put the fence in place to reestablish the security perimeter. They assisted in the emergency service shops for 3 months when the COVID pandemic first hit. At Naval Base San Diego, our Seabees renovated the Navy Sea Logistics Center's office spaces. They also renovated 7 floors in the barracks at Reglan Hall, saving the Navy $96,000 in labor costs. They also constructed a new staircase for a high-traffic area at Balboa Hospital, which addressed a safety issue for both the patients and the hospital employees. The Seabees at Coronado managed the central tool room and material acquisition, providing support to 152 supporter commands. They constructed a morale, welfare, and recreation thrift shop exterior area enclosure, which enabled the thrift store to operate more efficiently. They executed the Hall of Heroes improvement project for Explosive Ordnance Disposal Mobile Unit 2 in order to memorialize and display the history of the sailors of the EOD community. Now I'd like to highlight just a few of the amazing accomplishments of the Naval Construction Force. Seabees deployed across the globe continue to build upon the legacy of building and fighting for peace and freedom. Construction Battalion Maintenance Unit 303 deployed to repair a 150-bed unit medical facility at Naval Base Guam at the outset of the pandemic. Amphibious Construction Battalion 1 deployed to the United Arab Emirates with the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force to execute Native Fury 20,020 and train Special Purpose Marine, Air, Ground, Task Force Marines and U.S. Navy sailors in maritime pre-positioning force operations. Naval Mobile Construction Battalion 5, originally planned to deploy for only 6 months, were extended to 9 months in order to allow them to complete 40 projects valued at $11 million in Iwakuni, Timor-Leste, the Federated State of Micronesia, and Palawan, Philippines. Their efforts strengthen our ties with those host nations and our allied partners throughout the Pacific. They also completed an evacuation center in the Marshall Islands, helped construct a 150-bed expeditionary medical facility for the USS Theodore Roosevelt in support of COVID in Guam. They built hand-washing stations, shower and head facilities on isolated islands throughout the Pacific to help our government prevent the spread of COVID. Naval Mobile Construction 4 completed installation of piles that will ultimately support a catwalk pier system for a short approach lighting system at Naval Air Station North Island. Naval Mobile Construction 3 was deployed to U.S. Indo-PACOM, conducting construction and with partner nations. Of note, they're working on an asphalt road in Tinian, which will provide better access for emergency services to the local residential areas. They're also completing harbor repairs in Tinian and constructing a schoolhouse in Timor-Leste. Couldn't be more proud of what the Seabees are doing around the world. The Pacific is deeply tied to the roots of the Seabees. Our rich history, where deployed Seabees, NAVFAC, and Civil Engineer Corps officers have made a huge impact to the world. We continue to forge those close bonds with the nations and people in the Pacific to ensure our collective safety and freedom. I am honored to serve alongside you at NAVFAC Southwest, and I wish a heartfelt happy birthday to all Seabees, the Civil Engineer Corps, and Team NAVFAC Southwest. Hoorah, Southwest!
Happy birthday, Seabees. It's customary to have the oldest and youngest Seabee come up and cut the cake. This year, our youngest Seabee is Seaman Aguilar. And for 2 years running, our oldest Seabee is Captain Oestereicher. We now cut the cake.
Hi everyone, I'm Susan Holbert, Council of NAVFAC Southwest, and I'm here to wish the Seabees a happy birthday. I'm really proud to work on the NAVFAC Southwest Seabee team, and I've been proud to be part of the NAVFAC Seabee group since 1995 when I left a private law firm to join NAVFAC Atlantic. 25 years later, I'm working on the A team here in San Diego with NAVFAC Southwest and the Seabees, and I have an even better view than I had at the private law firm. Thank you for all you do for the Navy Seabees, and happy birthday.
Hey, NAVFAC Southwest. Commander Greg Woods, Public Works Officer NAS Lemoore. I want to give a big shout out to the men and women of the U.S. Navy Seabees as we all get ready to celebrate their 79th birthday. Hey, I'm proud to be part of an organization like NAVFAC. Hey, we really do support Seabees, former and current, across the world. Seabees are a distributed maritime operations. They truly are. As at any given time, they're deployed to multiple locations throughout PACOM, AFRICOM, EUCOM, CENTCOM, NORTHCOM, PICACOM. It really doesn't matter. Seabees are truly amazing. In Phase 0 now, they are deployed, improving infrastructure like ports, runways, roads, clinics, doing theater security cooperation with partner nations, humanitarian assistance, building schools throughout the world. It really is truly amazing what they can do in Phase 0, which allows us to be better prepared for Phase 1 or Phase 2 operations with relationships in these countries. It truly is amazing what the men and women of the Seabees can do. They truly are a full force multiplier. So on behalf of myself and Charlotte here, we want to say happy birthday, Seabees. Can you say happy birthday, Seabees?
Happy birthday, Seabees.
Happy birthday, Seabees.
Hi, I'm Kathy Stewart, Business Director at NAVFAC Southwest in San Diego. Seabees hold a special place in my heart since I entered the Navy 30 years ago as a Civil Engineer Corps Officer. You're all amazing. Your capabilities are unmatched and your can-do spirit is an inspiration for us all. I really want to thank you and your families for all you do in service to our nation and in defense of our country. Happy birthday, Seabees.
Happy birthday, Seabees, hoorah!
Hi, my name is Renee Cavendrew, and I'm the Chief of Contracts for NAVFAC Southwest. I've been with NAVFAC for 26 years now, and the reason that I've stayed is because I have mad respect for what the Navy does to protect this nation. So to all the Seabees out there, thank you for what you do, and happy birthday.
Hi, my name is Tommy Vaughn. I'm the work at Travis Air Force Base. When I hear the name Seabees, I think of two things: our rich naval history and the men and women who served before me. For both, I'll be forever grateful. I want to give a special shout out to the 34th Naval Construction Battalion. Happy birthday, Seabees. Hoorah!
Commander Rob Kleiman here, the Public Works Officer for Naval Base Coronado. So a big shout out to all the Seabees getting it done for the fleet. From self-help here in Coronado to across the NAVFAC Southwest AO to doing joint construction projects with our contracting partners and doing field training exercise on San Clemente Island. Tremendously proud to be part of the Seabees, and your can-do attitude is infectious. Happy birthday, Seabees.
Happy birthday, Seabees.
Hello and welcome to the Seabee Quay Wall project at Camp Pendleton. This is the ward room, and we are on site with NMCB 5 and UCT 2, and we would like to wish all of the Seabees a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Engineer Grade Chibuzo Zilibo. I'm on a deployment in Djibouti, Africa. As a child, I admired military service to country. I also loved engineering and construction. When I got older, I asked myself, how do I get the best of both worlds? The answer? The Navy Civil Engineer Corps and the Naval Construction Battalion, the Seabees. I continue to serve with the same purpose, military service to country as a military engineer, managing construction projects which helps our team thrive. And on this fine Navy Day, I wish the Seabees a happy 79th birthday. Hoorah, Seabees! We're currently on a deployment in Djibouti, Africa, and on this day, we wish the Seabees a happy 79th birthday.